Hey there, welcome back to Trad Rod and Customs. I am Oliver, and in this week's video we are gonna be fixing all of this crap. There are exposed wires, melted bits of this and that.
Right? Whoa! Look at all the wires in there.
Old wires, broken wires. It's pretty incredible. But this has already been 12 volt converted. So all we need to do is take our replacement cloth wrapped wire and ends, and we'll just rebuild this thing. We'll rebuild it. We'll figure out a way to make it all better and hold up, not have any crap like that. I just got like 5 strands holding that water temp sensor. It's got all these broken strands and 4 or 5 of them holding on. So this thing's getting rebuilt. Look at this one here. 4 strands on this guy. What is that? Oil? I don't know. It's brakes. Oh, it's the brakes. 4 strands of wire still holding. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4. The rest of them are all broken off here. I'll tell you.
It doesn't really matter. I don't like my job, and I don't think I'm gonna go anymore.
And they're dang near touching. Guess what happens if those touch? The brake lights come on and they stay on because you've created a circuit. Yeah. So we're going to tackle this. This is just we're going to start off cutting this open and kind of seeing where we want to do, we'll do it in segments. We don't want to do too many splices, but yeah, we're just going to kind of pick a spot and start working. So I will say that for now, I think I'm going to start right here. I'm going to start from this leg of the harness and come out to here. And I'm just going to rebuild everything from here to here. Now my guess is, and I could be wrong, but my guess is most of the wiring back in here is okay. We'll take a look when we get in there. But usually the stuff further back in the harness is protected and it's not in as bad a shape. See? Get in all this crap and you actually have pretty clean wires in here. I wouldn't have any problem, people say these wires are unsafe. I wouldn't have any problem running any of these. These are all in great shape. Nothing wrong with them at all. But you get down here on the ends and they are frayed and they are broken and they are just in horrible shape. So what we'll do is we'll actually splice in from out here. And I know I'll get naysayers in the comments, but you know what? I drove this car all through high school and I didn't have electrical issues. None. And that is a shocker to me as I look at what's here. But yeah, from what I'm seeing, we've got 5-6 inches of wire that needs to be worked on from here out. I'm going to keep peeling this back though, because I do not want the electrical tape wrap job. I don't like the look. And it's all brittle and not protecting anything anyway. Not well enough. Just got to be careful not to cut into these wires that are in good enough shape here. So I would say for that, moving out, these are all pretty thick. Now this is one thing to remember is with a 6 volt system, the wires are all thicker. And it has to do with resistance, I think. And that's why they always say, guys will say, oh, are my wires okay to run 12 volts? Like, well, you got twice as much wire as you need. So these are all a little thicker than they have to be. They're not a lot thicker than they have to be, but they're a little thicker than they have to be.
That's so much thicker than I thought it was going to be.
Okay, these guys are beefy. Turn out here, I'm guessing that's power for headlights. I would guess power for headlights. That's actually more like 10 gauge, but we'll use 12. It'll be fine. In fact, if you look here, what the electrician we hired to 12 volt convert this, he went down to 14. So no big deal. So what we'll do is we'll just get this thing kind of cut back here. So for out here, I'm going to use cloth electrical wire, electrical tape. Works really good, has a great look. And I'm just going to loom this stuff right back up that I just undid. No reason to mess with any of this. And I'll know, looking at it, that I've already been here and that it is good to go. Good enough for now. Cut that. And that leaves us with this nice cloth wrapped loom. I'll separate all of this stuff. Just give me a little space from it. I actually bought these connectors specifically for this little doodad. They fit in there. They're a little loose in there, actually. But they do fit. Okay. Well, let's take a look at what we're working with here. This wire I cut, and this hooks into the reducer on the firewall. This guy, green with a black tracer, which we have an 18 gauge, but I don't think 18 gauge is enough to replace this guy. This guy's about a 12. So what I will do, here, I've got 16, 16, 18, 16. I'm going to cut this off back here, just like that. I'm going to strip it. Like that. And then what I will do is I now have to replace this end, right? I need to make it just as long. So I'll use some of this 12 gauge. I need a piece just a touch longer than what I had. Strip that. Okay. And I like to do soldered connections. So these are going to get put together and soldered. I'll go ahead and get my little barrel connector out here. These old ones are a little different. I like to take the plastic off. I don't particularly want plastic. This one's a little small for this gauge of wire. It'll fit. Put that in there. Like that. Crimper. And get out the heat gun. And heat shrink. A little bit of a storm going on out there. Heat gun, heat shrink. Slip this on up here. Like that. Now we've got that done. This was PL5. I'm going to take the PL5 tape off of here, and I'm going to put it on this yellow one. So when I put my harness back together, I know. Now, I'll put that away too soon. Now I take some heat shrink. I'm going to slip that up the wire. So I got it there. I'm going to take some solder, rosin core, 50/50. Okay. Get this guy out. Plugged in, warming up. And what we're going to end up doing is just kind of braiding these ends together. Really nice and secured. Get lots of solder in there. That's pretty good. Knock that point down. Okay. Now, I'm going to slide this heat shrink back and over the solder. Just like that. There it should be. And it's just like I was never here. Might take a little tape and go over that. Don't want to have a wire, loose wire poke out of something and poke into another one. You know, you just...
What that?
It's a wire. I'm rebuilding this here wire and harness.
What that?
Solder.
What that?
Wire.
What that?
Wire.
What that?
Wire. This is getting repetitive.
What that?
Wire.
What that? What that?
Now I know watching somebody do wiring's probably about as enthralling as watching paint dry, but I'm trying to keep it interesting for you guys, and it's part of the project. So here we are. I don't know that there's really rhyme or reason to it. I started on one end, worked my way back to this here Y, kind of went to here, and now I'm working my way out the other part of this Y. And I'm just replacing as I go. Obviously, you know, stuff like this won't fly. This is what was exposed. But as soon as you get back into the loom, you got pretty good wire again. I mean, it's old, but it's, you know, it's workable. So, as you heard me telling my daughter, I'm making it pretty again. So we can't have any ugliness. No ugly wires. See, stuff like that. That's just not, that's not safe. And this car's been driving like this. I drove this car through school like this, and I guarantee you this wiring was every bit as bad back then as it is now. Car hasn't been touched. It's been sitting in a shop. And while it had mice move into it, this is not mouse damage. This is just 75-year-old wiring harness damage. Okay. This one I have marked 4. So I need to make sure that I put another piece of tape on this. Marked 4. I had a marker in my pocket. Oh, darn, kids are always stealing them. Okay. Cut that off. It's a pretty thick one, but I think I can go to 16 gauge. What you're doing. That's looking half decent. So that's on. This has a little ring terminal on it. This wire. And see, even from the factory, they had some kind of little heat shrink around that. So I'll just get a similar size ring. Put it on the end here. Just move on down to this next junction where we got more fraying, more junk. It's going great though. It is going great. And hyperlapse. That's pretty much going to do it for this one, guys. I know it's a super exciting and fast-paced episode, but that's it. Just more of the same. I'm going to get this wrapped up. Appreciate you guys watching. Like, share, comment, and I'll catch you on the next one. Later.